Devin Vassell, this is how we were winning before all this. Like those 3 wins, it was Devin Vassell helping tremendously. And in the third win that we had against the Suns, he got hurt. It's kind of sad that I can go back to, it's been so long that I can literally go back to the only times we haven't won any games that I can actually remember the wins vividly. It used to be a time where I didn't. You said, oh, we beat Jazz 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. I don't know. We beat a lot of teams 3 weeks ago. But no, yeah, it was the second game in which he got hurt at halftime, but he was still having a pretty good game leading up to halftime. So yeah, Vassell's the best player. Vassell isn't necessarily, well, I don't know. Tit for tat. Does it really matter? I don't know if Devin Vassell's the best overall player. I would give that to Wemby. But as far as scoring wise, he is definitely the most efficient. Like, we need him. Like, I would say it's Wemby then Vassell, but if someone says Vassell then Wemby, I'm cool with that too. The special thing about this game is I feel like every single person did exactly what they were supposed to do, right? Like, we go through every single play. You should just go player to player, okay? Well, do you want to start with team? Team stats, wonderful. Free throws, they made sure they didn't make that mistake. 17 for 19, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. They took full advantage of every single time they were at the free throw line. They were completely engaged the entire time. They brought what they did in the fourth quarter of last game into the first quarter of this one. Basically perfect. So Jeremy Sochan, starting with him since he's at the top of the list, he locked down LeBron. I was having a discussion with someone on Twitter. Hold on, let me see. Not trying to call him out because I think this is kind of how other people would have viewed it too. And by the way, I documented every single time LeBron complained or cried about something. It was a lot too, by the way. Like, here it is. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Oh, no, LeBron's complained about the refs against the Spurs again. Hope he's okay. Oh, no, LeBron's laying on the ground against the Spurs again. Hope he's okay. Oh, no, LeBron's complaining to the refs against the Spurs again. Hope he's okay. Like, it happened all game long. But, yeah, this right here. So this quarter, it was Cisco. So I said Sochan not being in to defend destroyed us in that quarter. Because that second quarter, LeBron just basically was able to just take over. Just basically take over Keldon Johnson. And he took over the game. Keldon Johnson couldn't guard him one-on-one. And then Osman wasn't making the right rotations, or he was slow on his rotations. So it was just terrible defense. And you could see as soon as Jeremy Sochan went into the game, it was completely different vibe. LeBron wasn't able just to attack the same way he did before. Which is funny because you know LeBron was pissed off and you know LeBron wanted to go with Sochan and he still couldn't because Sochan, he talked to that trash when LeBron was in the playoffs where he said, why is King James flopping so much? And he left that up too. He mean what he said. He stood on that. He stood on business. But yeah, and I was having this conversation with this. I won't go through the convo. We had this like really mini convo, which it was fine. But he was basically saying, no, it's not just the fact that Sochan was out the game. And I think that was actually a huge chunk of the reason why we were getting destroyed by LeBron. It was because Sochan wasn't in the game. Yes, Osman should make better rotations. Yeah, he should have. But at the end of the day, he's not like a defender. And Keldon Johnson isn't a good on-ball defender. So yeah, Sochan did phenomenal. Like I said, everyone did their job. So Sochan, what do we need you to do? We need you to be more of a connector. We need you to do the dirty work. We need you to be our best defender. And I think tonight, Sochan was our best defender. And then next, you got Keldon Johnson, which 6 for 16 ain't beautiful. It's not. But I will say this. I feel like the Spurs did a good job of allowing Keldon Johnson to do what he does in the first quarter, right? Go at you, which, you know, it's what he does. It's Keldon Johnsonisms. And usually earlier in the game, it works pretty well. Like teams aren't necessarily adjusting to it. It's not winning basketball because by the time you get to the fourth quarter, the team fully adjusted and all they have to do is just close in on you. So Keldon Johnson, though, he set the tone. That's what he's best at, setting the tone, setting that energy, and then taking on the more role player role. But he set the tone early, so that's good. So Keldon Johnson set the tone early, and then in the second half, he took more of a a role player approach, which is good. That's exactly what we want, and he did great in that regard. It wasn't a lot of bad Keldon Johnson shots in the second half, but I think a lot of these misses were that actually. But anyways, Victor did okay. He came down to earth a little bit, offensively. 5 for 13 ain't terrible. He has some pretty good looks. He still has that issue where he's rushing a little bit, but man, even in a bad Wemby game, it's a phenomenal game for most players in the NBA. 13 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Like, I don't know if you get better than that, for most players in the NBA. That's great. So even on his bad nights at 19 years old, he still puts up good numbers. So good job from Victor there. Devin Vassell, this is what we need. We need him to shoot 19 to 20 points. I mean, this is what we need. He got to shoot. He has to be a volume shooter. I don't care if Vassell is hitting it or not. He has to shoot this amount. We just don't have it yet, right? We just don't have that guy that can do it. But Vassell, he did exactly what his job entailed. And one thing I really loved is that Popovich basically said, everyone says Popovich doesn't make any adjustments. Oh, okay. But at the end of the game, it was basically Devin Vassell's game. It was just Devin Vassell's game. They went at Devin every single time at the end. And he made great decisions. But yeah, defensively, he did well too. 1 steal, 1 block. Did his thing there. Malaki Branham, he's been very efficient. And I will say a lot of those passes were zippers, man. He zipped that thing. 8 assists. He zipped it. I think a lot of people hate Malaki Branham quite well. I think Spurs fans are coming around, but initially they hated him, but it was like, oh my God, dude, is he going to be a bust? But it's like, no, it was just the role that Popovich had him in at the time, where he was a catch and shooter. He's never been a catch and shoot guy. He's a really good scorer. He'll have games on occasion where he can just light it up, like that Devin Vassell game in the play-in. Like, he's capable of doing it, but that's not his bread and butter. He likes to use his screens, and he likes to make the right reads, and he loved that mid-range. And one thing that I've seen from Malaki too is initially, because I've been saying this for a while, I've been saying I think Malaki Branham is our worst defender, starting wise, but now I don't think so. He's been able to use his strength and his size pretty well. He's moving his feet better. On the offensive and defensive end, I think that he's using his physicality much more, and he's pretty good. He's more than suitable. I'll say that. Like, on the defensive end, he's not like a lockdown, and he'll never be a lockdown. Let's just be real. He'll never be a lockdown defender. That's not Malachi's bread and butter. It's just not. It's not going to be his thing. But I think he was suitable as far as being a starting point guard. Yeah, he did more than better. I mean, even some of the players that I want or that I'm thinking about in the draft, they'd probably be inferior defenders to Branham. And I think Branham did very, very well, actually. Used his size really well and got aggressive. Next, Zach Collins, he is doing exactly what we need him to do. I think him coming off the bench helped a lot, not only for himself, but for Wemby as well. Because usually when Zach Collins is out there, I mean, I had to look at the numbers. I'm just talking, from what I was seeing. But usually when he's out there, he is out there with Doug McDermott, Osman, other veterans, and it kind of helps him out a little bit. He is not suitable to lead any young group. And I think that I kind of came victim to this too. I thought Zach Collins, okay, he's a veteran. But at the end of the day, he's only played like 4 seasons in the NBA because of all the injuries. So he's a veteran, but not much more of a veteran than Vassell or Keldon would be, So I think him coming off the bench is fine. And he definitely needs to be around McDermott and Osman. So that's good. Mamu barely played. I mean, that was garbage time. One thing I was surprised that Graham got in the game. I know that the Spurs will probably make some type. It's the 15th now, so there's a lot of players available, and we'll take a look at that because there's been some reports that I don't necessarily believe. But I know that the Spurs will probably make some type of move, And they put in Graham, and I was kind of shocked they put in Graham. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to try to play him a little bit more to help with his stock a little bit. I don't know. But he had 3 assists. He made the most out of those 10 minutes, which is not bad. Like, he missed 2 shots, but 3 assists in 10 minutes. That's okay. It was a live TV game. That's why Graham played. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Oh, yeah. Trey Jones didn't even play. I wonder what that was. Maybe that was one of those pop mind games. Yeah. Wait a minute. I didn't see anybody mention this, by the way. I didn't even think about it. Like I didn't even think about it once that, hey, Trey Jones isn't playing. Is he just hurt? Oh, Trey Jones was sick. He was sick. Yeah, Aaron. He was sick. Exactly. Get out of here. He was out with illness. Right. Sure. DeJounte warned us about this. These Popovich mind games. I don't buy it. Who? Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, but seriously though, what was it? Trey Jones traded? Unironically, you will get a lot of value out of Trey Jones. Unironically. People be really pissed off about that though. I think you would get pretty good. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you'll be able to match it. I don't know. I don't know how high Trey Jones' value is. I feel like you'll get way more out of Keldon, but then again, it's like I don't really want Keldon to be traded, to be honest. This role that he played tonight is exactly what I would want. And as time goes on, we get another defensive small forward. We get us a point guard. And if he comes off the bench with like Malaki, he comes in, brings that energy to the opponent's second unit. We're kind of unstoppable. Like, that's pretty tough to beat. You got to deal with Wemby and Vassell. And then as soon as he would probably play with them, obviously. But, theoretically, as soon as they're out, here comes Keldon Johnson, punch you in the mouth. I don't know. I think that would be pretty doggone good. Why trade? We beat the Lakers. We contenders now. Basically. Overall, it was a great performance. Another thing, too, I really liked, and I know that this is going to be a little random, but I absolutely loved how they came together at the end. You guys saw that? Where Victor Wembanyama was like cheering on the crowd or hyping up the crowd, and then he just held all of his guys. That's why I was saying, like, all of this stuff where people are coming out saying, well, is there a problem? I mean, yeah, you can say whatever you want, Clan, when you're doing a press conference, but there might be some underlying. It's like, dude, I pay attention to all these things. If something's weird going on, if something fishy's going on, we're going to talk about it. Like, and these are young players. They let their frustrations be known. It's like really sneaky, but they'll let it be known. It's going to be some type of subliminal, and it ain't going to come out in press conferences usually. It's going to be something through social media. It's going to be something that you spot. It's going to be something on the bench. They never once pointed the finger at each other. They never once tweeted out something subliminal. Everybody went ghost on social media. They wanted to win. Everybody has the same type of language when they're talking about things. So even that idea of, is Popovich isn't coaching, Popovich isn't doing that. Like, every single player was repeating what Popovich said. Popovich would say something in a press conference, and you hear every single player kind of give you the same sentiment. That's a coach having an impact. People are just silly. I'm just glad that this is broken. I think the Spurs can finally kind of go on a run. Maybe not like a long winning streak. We got some tough games coming up. Because who do we have? Let's see. I know we got the Pelicans, right? Yeah, see. It's not going to let up. We got the Pelicans, and then we got the Bucks. But honestly, I think that this kind of took a cloud. A cloud is away from our heads a little bit. They know when they have a full game, this is what can happen. So I don't know about the Pelicans. We'll see. I don't know about the Bucks at all, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm really excited to see Giannis versus Wemby. That's going to be frustrating. That's going to be so frustrating. But Bulls, I think we should come away with that one, even though we lost the last one. We should come away with that one. Mavericks, we can finally get our revenge because that first game we should have won, to be real with you. And then from there, we'll see. I think, isn't Jazz getting ready to try to trade John Collins? Like, dude is on the trading block every week. Spurs going to be a playing team. Let's just enjoy this win. Can we just enjoy? Let's just enjoy this win. All right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. All right. Phenomenal stuff though. I was really happy with this game. Really happy with this win. They needed it. We tanking still? We're not tanking, but 62-20 record still in play. Technically, yeah. Technically, that would be an insane run. What's the longest winning streak? Dude, we have to hold it. Did the Spurs hold? No, it has to be the Warriors, right? Warriors had like a season where they had like 70 wins. Hold on. Longest winning streak in NBA. Oh. The Los Angeles Lakers, 1971. Well, that's boring. Let's see. See what's the most modern. It was the Warriors. Longest winning streak, Warriors 54. Wait. No, that's longest streak at home. Longest losing streak, 28 by the 76ers. Longest losing streak at home, Dallas Mavericks in 93. Oh, shoot. I just completely looked over this. All-time longest winning streaks. Warriors, yep, 28. I knew it had to be them. I did not know the Heat on a 27 win streak in 2012. And then we beat them in the... No, we didn't. We lost that season. We lost against them. And then the Rockets 07-08. I don't even remember that. I don't remember that at all. The Wemby and Braun matchup was beautiful. It wasn't even like a Wemby and Braun matchup. It was more like a Braun and Sochan matchup, honestly. Braun, look, I don't want to be one of those people that's like LeBron cries all the time, but guys, he cries a lot. I'm sorry. He cries a lot. This is partly why I hate the whole discussion on who's the greatest. Like we can put Braun in top 3, top 5, whatever, dude. I'm fine with that. Don't say he's better than Jordan. I'm sorry. The amount of complaining. Oh my goodness. This game alone, dude. I mean, it got to a point where the whole crowd noticed it and they just started booing him. They were like, this is ridiculous. I mean, you're crying about everything at this point, my boy. I mean, you get hit by your own teammate and you're on the ground. And then it kind of goes back to that Sochan tweet. Like, oh my God, King James flops a lot. Sochan didn't say anything this game. Maybe a word or two. He always just kind of sticks to himself. Come on, respectfully, Braun's the GOAT. Braun's not the greatest of all time. Braun's not the greatest of all time. Braun is phenomenal. Like, you can't take nothing away from LeBron James as far as everything, right? LeBron ain't top 5. See, I won't go that far. Jordan the GOAT. Jordan is the GOAT. Michael Jordan is by far. I don't know, dude. It's the attitude. It's the approach he takes sometimes. It's like, what is going on? But anyways, I'm glad that we won. I'm happy for it. This isn't about LeBron. His team will be competing for a playoff spot. So he'll be doing his thing. It's crazy that he can perform the way that he performs at his age. It's just that, come on. Tim Duncan is the GOAT. I will take that. I will accept that. I will accept Tim Duncan being the GOAT. It's just a certain attitude certain guys have, and I feel like LeBron. Like, I kind of think back. Oh gosh, I don't want to go into a LeBron. I'll just say this really quick. One thing that stood out to me about LeBron that no one ever talked about, no one ever cared or whatever. You remember the JR game where JR Smith made that really stupid decision, and it was a lot of theatrics from LeBron after that. That game really bothers me because I was cheering for LeBron, by the way. He had like 50 points. He was murdering the Warriors. I mean, just destroying them. I was like, okay, all that GOAT talk. Like, yeah, this is it right here. And then after that J.R. Smith incident, LeBron just disappeared. I mean, inactively disappeared. Like separated himself from his team. That really bothered me. That's something that certain players with the right mentality do not do. He just disappeared. And I don't mean disappeared as in he missed shots. Dude didn't take shots. He just said, whatever, it's y'all team, whatever. His attitude was terrible in that overtime. Like it was like the game was already over. It's like, what is this? And then people, I did see some people excuse at the time was, well, I mean, no one's helping him anyway. So it's like, dude, you don't do that. You know, I'm done. Yeah, that's what it was. It was like, I'm done. Hands up, I'm done. And with many occasions that Steph Curry was on him, he had a mismatch and he was just like, yeah, no, and pass it out. He's like, I don't want it. It was terrible. But he had his numbers, so you can't really argue. Like, you sound crazy saying, dude, what about this game? And they're like, he had 50 some points in that game. It's like, well, okay, whatever. No one cares. So, I don't know. Good stuff, though. Good stuff from the Spurs. I am happy. And hopefully this gets rid of that cloud over us. This is good.